Hi class, this is one video of a mini-series reviewing APA writing. APA writing is really important in academia because it is used so often, and I think you'll find that it's required for a lot of your courses. I often find that students are not familiar with APA, so I really try to break it down in these videos. There are a lot of APA writing resources available to you. The first one is the APA Publication Manual 6th edition, and that's what this image is over here on the right-hand side of the slide. You don't have to purchase this, it's not required for your class, but if you plan on pursuing a career in psychology, this might be beneficial to you. There's also the Purdue Online Writing Lab. This is a free resource that you could access just by clicking on this hyperlink. And there's also the Hack Library Guide, again, free resource available to you just by clicking on this hyperlink. Of course, you can always contact me, your instructor, and there's my email, and you can also contact your peers. It's always a good idea to have somebody look over your projects before you submit them, and if you have a peer or somebody who's willing to review your paper and might be proficient with APA, that could be very helpful to you. So for a general outline, this is the typical structure of an APA publishable paper. There's a title page, an abstract, an introduction section, a methods, results, discussion, and references section. Now for this class, you're really only going to be focusing on a title page, an abstract, an introduction, a discussion or conclusion, and a references section. If you were writing an original research paper for publication, you would likely have a methods and results section, but that is not the purpose of this class, as this is just an intro psychology course. But it might be useful to know some of this information if you are pursuing a career in psychology. So for the title page, you want to have a title that is 15 words or less. You want to have a running head in the header flush left with a shortened version of your title, and in that same header you're actually going to have the page number flush right, and for the title page it's always going to be page number 1. You never want to have your last name in the header within the title page or any of the subsequent pages. And finally, on the title page, you'll have your name as the author, your institution, which is your college or training resource that you're attending, and the date of the paper. Now for my class, I'm not picky with the date. You can put the date that the assignment is due, or you can put the date of when you actually wrote the paper itself. And here's an example of a title page. Notice the running head is flush left, and running head is in lowercase with the exception of the R in running that is capitalized. There's a colon, and then there is a shortened version of your title in all caps, which is derived from your actual title, which is down here. For your running head, your shortened title should be 50 characters or less, including spacing and punctuation. Of course, you have your page number flush right in that same header. And take note that this title actually starts down here at the 3-inch mark of the paper, and that just allows for good formatting. And this is the layout of the land. You have your title, you have your author, your affiliation, and then of course the date. Now with the abstract, this is something that comes on its own page right after the title page. It's a brief description of the paper content and lets the reader know what they're going to encounter before they actually get into the body and meat of the paper. It should only be about 200 to 250 words, and it should be original work, which means you shouldn't have any citations within. And here is an example of an abstract. You'll notice the brief paragraph describing what's going to be read within the paper. Notice that the words running head are now gone from the header, and it's just the all capitalized shortened version of the title, top left, and of course your page number over here, top right, which will always be number 2 for your abstract. And this is also important. You want to make sure that you have the word abstract center right above it, kind of acting as a title, just letting the reader know that this is the abstract. And you don't want any formatting for this, so no bold, no underline, no italics, just plain font, the word abstract. Now sometimes you'll see in publications the words keywords down here, and then they'll list, you know, for this one, it might be schizoid personality disorder, lifestyle affect from schizoid personality disorder, etc. You don't need that for this class because that's not the purpose of this class. It's just getting you familiar with how APA papers should be written. That is the end of the first video on APA writing for title page and abstract. Remember, a title page should be 15 words or less, followed by the author, institution, and date, as well as should include a running head and page number in the header. Abstracts are on their own page right after the title page and should be 200 to 250 words of original work with no citations. If you have any questions, again, feel free to contact me directly or post your question in the general discussion board available in each week's module on D2L. Thank you.